All right, so we're knocking the rear shocks off first, and then what the plan is we're going to jack up under the leaf spring itself to just raise the leaf spring up off of the top of the rear axle and slip the blocks in with the new U-bolt. So
we might even put just a dent roll. We'll put the little.
Well, I got things up front.
You got chalk up front, but we might as well just put one on either side of the tire.
Okay.
You don't want to when they kick, man. Sometimes it's just a tough.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially this is a 3/4 ton. We've had come-alongs. You know, when I broke, I had aluminum lifts on my Blazer, and it rotted away.
Yeah.
You know, from the steel. And I went to give it gas one day at a red light, and the tire went right up into the. The quarter panel, and it was hard to get. I had to get it like a come along and pull it back forward. You know what I mean? To get it together. So the less it moves, the better. But you got.
We have to reuse these shock bolts too.
Do we?
Yes.
Okay.
They've all come out pretty well.
Yeah, everything's been pretty nice. It seems to have some. It's a little dead spot.
Spare tires in the way a little bit.
I'll let Paul get the hard ones.
The ones up top?
Yeah.
No way, I'm cameraman. Just, I would hate to do this in my driveway. You know how long you'd be wrenching up there?
Especially with that much thread.
Yeah.
But it's not really, your truck's not really that rusty. So.
Well, I have been treated with a suggestion from a friend of mine, which is you mix linseed oil and diesel fuel, and you spray the whole undercarriage before winter. And I only did that once so far. So
linseed oil?
Linseed oil. It's like a wood oil treatment.
Yeah. Can you see it?
Yeah, kind of. I can see you contorting yourself.
There's dirt falling in my eye.
You're very skilled.
Yes. If I could squeeze that. Sweet.
Yeah.
I'll let you put them in then. How's that?
Nah. You're doing such a good job. And we all know you suck with the camera, so.
There you go. But look.
Yeah.
Chevy has dust boots on there.
Yeah, but they're open at the bottom.
Oh, they're not the bellows.
So the difference is the bellows, you got to use those.
I gotcha. Yeah, they're too tight.
Yeah.
They keep the moisture.
And yeah, hey, look here for a second. We're going to talk about your channel for a second while we're back here. This is my brother Jim, who on YouTube is James Danner. No, that's horrible. Get that light out of there.
How about
no, that's worse too. Get that out of there. That's better. So he is my brother James Danner on YouTube. I call him Danner. Sorry, I'm blinding you, but it's good lighting. He has a channel that he does all kinds of stuff too, and you guys need to check him out. So I'll put a link to his channel as well in these videos. So props to my bro for helping me out here. Hey, and you need to do some more repair stuff too, man. People want it, man. So there's some other goofs that are out there that are doing that, and they got a ton of subscribers from it. So
yeah, it's just tough to do it.
Well,
for
you need to have a camera guy follow you around.
That's it.
All right. Okay. So next step, again, you can see the setup we have here. We're going to do one side at a time. We're going to take the weight up off of the spring. You said you wanted to block the tire so it doesn't move?
I'm just going to put the wheel chocks. Yeah, we'll start with this side over here.
Okay.
Since I have them over here. Just so nothing rolls, hopefully. You never know.
Yeah.
But
I'm curious too, before we put that block in, can you give me a tape measure, a measurement of that block? I know it's tapered.
Yeah.
Just curious, because it does list this as a 3-inch lift kit, and I'm pretty sure those are 2-inch blocks for the back.
Can you see it over here?
Yeah.
Can you see good light?
Yeah.
See how it's tapered?
I do, yep.
So I'm assuming we're going to want to Well, we put them in this way so the rear end will roll up.
Correct.
Towards.
Actually,
there.
flip it. It would be the. Wouldn't it be the pin goes down?
Yeah, because you're going to have the hole,
Yes.
and you're going to have the through bolt, the center bolt, and the leaf springs.
So the narrow end goes toward the front of the vehicle.
That'd be my guess, right? Is that right?
Yeah.
We'll check for sure, but.
Yeah, no, because when you pinch it,
it's going to roll.
that's what we want, which fixes our driveline angle.
Yeah. Okay, so what you have here is on the short end, I'm showing 2 inches on the short end.
Yep, that's what I thought.
And then I'm showing maybe 2 1/4.
Okay.
Maybe. It's not even that much of a difference.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. No, if I get all the way to the end, I'm at 1 1 3/4.
Okay.
And then on the big end, I'm at 2.
Yeah.
2 1/8 maybe.
So it's a 2-inch block. That's what I thought, and they call it a 3-inch lift kit, but you know, like I said, it's 3 inches in the front and 2 in the rear.
See, we got new
U-bolts. Yep.
New bolts
Yep.
and everything. I don't know if they're going to be washer. We got washers too.
Yep. We have all new hardware too for the rear. I remember doing U-bolts on my old Power Wagon in the driveway in the cold. Do you remember that?
I do.
With a wrench. With a wrench.
We weren't even old enough to drink either. We were just dumb kids.
I would have done better with some alcohol that day.
We had that truck down to the frame.
I know, it was sweet.
I don't even know how did we even lift that cab you got from Texas or whatever?
What, 5 of us?
Yeah.
We lifted it off.
Like nowadays, you'd be like, "Oh man, I need like a this and a that," and we were just like, "I don't know, it's coming from Texas. We'll do it, right?" We just pushed the other one off in the dirt, let the glass crack.
Did we? I don't remember.
The neighbors were like, "Uh-oh."
They never thought it would run again.
Never thought it would get done. All right, so this fell off at the top. This is
What is that?
this is where the U-bolts sit up top.
Okay.
So I'm assuming we got to reuse.
Oh,
that.
gotcha. It goes. Okay, that just keeps them from walking.
It keeps them from walking. Yeah, it's a nice little channel that they sit in, so they won't. You know, so when you tighten them up, you know they're square too, because you could always think they're tight and have them sitting like this.
Sure. Yeah. No, I did that on my F-150.
And then like a couple miles down the road, you're like, why is it shifting back?
Yeah.
So at this point, let's see if we have enough blocks under there to lift the...
So we're coming up now with the jack.
I don't even know if... Maybe I want to take this one off and just lift the one side, but we'll see what happens. It's coming up.
I like it. How's our blocks looking? They're not going to come flying out. And keep your fingers when you put that block in there. You know?
Just make sure you film it.
I got it, man. You break your
ScannerDanner.com.
You break your fingers, we'll have it on film. I think you got to go up a little more.
Yeah.
You might want to. Yeah, it looks good.
That looks great.
That'll go. That's good.
That'll play. So we have the center bolt here.
Keep your thumb out of there.
I have to put it there.
Well, just as little as possible.
Then these things don't have to be here because we're putting new ones on. So if the fat end fits in, I'm high enough, right?
Yeah.
So you're not going to see it unless you want me to grab the camera.
No, you're good.
But there's a hole.
Yeah, absolutely. We can see it. There's a hole that sits down in on the perch. Yep.
That'll seat in on the perch, and then when I lower it down, we want this part to sit flush. So we might have a little bit of prying to do, because it looks like if I go straight up, I miss it. So
yeah.
A little bit of prying to do, but I have that right? I got the thick end in the back.
Thick end in the back.
So that's that. Now I can lower this down a little bit.
That looks like it's dropping right in there.
It doesn't seem like it might be. We'll see. Yeah, it's not.
No?
I needed like a
Yeah, it is. It was in.
No, it's not flush. Like
Oh, I see it.
It's like, give me a hammer. If I give it a tap, it might just seed. I don't want to put too much weight on it. If not, I'll get a pry bar.
There's a dead blow, orange handled hammer. Yeah.
Hammer?
A hammer.
Maybe that's why. So hit it right here and
Hit the ABS wire.
yeah, just make sure you perfectly hit it right against that jounce part. I think that might
There you go. Nice.
No, is that you want it to be square?
Yeah, do we want to double check that the tapered end goes toward the front with the
Now would be the time
before we
Yeah, I'm gonna let the weight down on it and then we'll go look at the instructions.
I mean, you don't have to come down all the way. Leave it right there.
Well, when we tighten it, I want the weight down on
Okay.
it. You know, so if I can just get looseness
all right.
there, I'm happy.
I mean, if you think about the angle, when you tighten that, that's definitely going to raise the front and of that because of the tapered block, and that's going to raise your differential which is what we want to do. So we don't need to check. That is up. Yeah, that is absolutely correct. It can't be the other way. You would be pushing the yoke. The idea here, guys, is we want this yoke to come up a little bit, not down. And if we put the thick end on the front, that's going to take that perch and angle it this way, which is going to give you even more of a driveline angle, and that defeats the whole purpose of the tapered block. So we don't need to look. I'm 100% confident.
Me too.
Put those U-bolts
We'll
on.
look when he pauses the camera.
We're 100% positive on camera.
So do they give you a torque for these?
They do. It's on there.
Because these things are always, you know what I mean, they're so long and they twist whenever
I'm with you, man. I definitely would like to torque these, though, for sure. I think it's like maybe 110 foot-pounds, I think it said.
What's the instructions?
I think you had it. That was
That's
it.
just for the front.
Oh, the rear's up on the alignment rack.
This thing here also has
Yeah. A pin.
a hole
Oh,
in
yeah.
it
Okay.
for it to sit at the bolt end.
Yeah, cool.
You know what I mean?
That's actually nice that they have that on there. I've never seen those before.
I've seen them, but yeah, some of the older ones didn't have that kind of stuff, or else someone else had them apart and they should have been there and we didn't know.
Yeah.
And it's a snug fit over here. That's perfect. That's nice and tight.
My truck's going to be awesome.
You got to show it with the tires on it.
Yeah, well, I'll show it with the Weenie Hut Junior tires on it first. And,
Weenie Hut Junior.
yeah, that's a SpongeBob quote.
Where did I put
He was trying to get into that tough guy bar, and they told him that he belonged at Weenie Hut Junior, which was across the street.
when he had them blow up muscles?
No, that was a different one. That was the Anchor Arms episode. 100 to 120 foot-pounds. Doesn't even say the direction, does it? For the.
What's that old block?
It says place the new block between the stock block. There is no stock block.
Their ears is just made that.
Make sure the bump stop portion of the stock block is pointed the same direction as it was originally. We don't have that. So look, it doesn't say on here, but again, we are 100% confident.
Yeah, and if you need U-joints soon, then we'll do that video and switch them. As I'm going to run them down snug, we'll go do the other side and we'll set the weight down on the...
Okay. Do you need me to hold the U-bolts?
If you read the directions, it tells you to drive it for like, what, how many miles and recheck and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's what you're going to do. But I just want to make sure that I'm lining up. I'm up in the grooves up here. And I'll just get this in. Okay, yeah, I was like, wait a minute, are these different lengths by chance?
I don't know. Check. I think they're all the same. It would make sense that you don't have as many threads in the back, right?
Right.
Just
yeah, because well,
of
that's your 1 inch difference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like flush here. Now I didn't make it tight, super tight yet.
Yeah.
But I was just out of curiosity. When I saw that, it just kind of seemed like, would there be one that was a little bit long?
There.
All right.
Yeah. So what we were just wondering is the length of the U-bolts. Are they all the same?
They're the same.
Yeah, and so the difference with the threads is the tapered block in the back.
Now there's also a little bit of geometry in play here, where I can, because we are changing this, I can probably loosen these ones and let your lower perch rock to a different spot. See how I did that?
Yeah.
Now we're gonna, I want to make sure that I'm not too offset either. You know what I mean? But you can see I rolled the perch back maybe an 1/8 inch.
How's the perch roll? Oh,
it's a clamp.
It bent.
That's all it is. All it is a clamp. With a horse. It's just a horseshoe that fits smooth.
I got you. I thought that lower perch was welded to the differential.
No,
it's not.
No.
Oh, it's floating.
Yeah, it's a replaceable component.
How did that end up staying on when we had all the U-bolts out?
It didn't.
Oh, it came off.
Yeah, you weren't watching.
I missed that.
So I just tightened these ones here to make sure I had some thread. So
that was smart.
I could fine tune it a little bit. You know what I mean? Because
sure.
You know what I mean? I would want the.
No, but you wanted enough threads on all 4 bolts, and that makes sense.
At this point, I'm confident that it's snugging us together. So we're going to do the other side, and then we're going to take all the weight.
Okay.
Let the truck actually sit down on the blocks, and we'll loosen them all, and we'll fine tune the angle we want this to make sure we don't have no threads on 1 and 1 inch on the other side.
Yeah. So. All right, so what we're going to do at this point is we're going to do the other side the same way. You guys just saw this. We're going to put the shocks on. I'm not going to film that part, and then we'll get this thing at a ride height position. And remember, we still have to tighten the lower control arms and stuff up front.
Yeah, because they're still loose.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Danner wanted this part.
Well, just because people are going to say, you never used a torque wrench on this whole job, so.
We actually did use the torque wrench on everything. You just didn't see it. See, when you do this long enough, you develop this thing in your elbow. It's called your click elbow. and if you turn your forearm.
Oh, you hear that?
Yeah. You just kind of take your forearm and just kind of turn it a little, and then you can change the position of your elbow, and then you know when it's tight.
And of course he's going to retorque all this.
No, but the U-bolts definitely I wanted to torque just because they always feel like you can keep tightening them forever.
Yeah, and you probably can until you stretch.
Until you stretch one, and yeah.
So I'd be curious though after like.
Sure.
A trip to school and back or whatever, just to see how much they move. You know what I mean?
And you went 110, right?
I think I went to the 120.
Okay, cool.
Max. It's like jumping on there. There you go.
Cool.
So.
That was easy. All right, rear shocks. I'm not filming that part. It's just shocks. Question my brother had is, did I put the new shock next to the old one to see if they were longer? And you can see that they are slightly longer. All right, the last part, guys, is we're doing the skid plate in the front, and all my brother did so far is show the bolt you put in. The one in the back was threaded. Yeah. No, you don't have to take it out.
There's a welded nut on the inside of this bracket here.
Okay.
So, but we had these left over,
right?
And you're like, man, you don't want to have leftover parts, but now it all makes sense.
Sure.
They give you
that sleeve goes in
some kind of sleever, assuming it'll go up into a spot somewhere.
It had mentioned drilling something.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to look at that and see. But that's gonna be for this skid shield, and then the last big bolt's gonna go into there with a washer, and then we have 2 more nuts with 2 littler bolts that probably go through here, and they probably want us to drill through the cross member here. to actually, since we lowered the differential,
right,
you have a potential to actually hit it now. So they give you a nice,
pretty heavy duty plate. So that's cool.
So, and if you bolt it across the front 3 places,
it's not going anywhere.
It's going to take a hit before you get back far.
All right, well, I'll just leave this roll. Rivet nut installation tool. It looks like they're drilling through the bracket itself. What are we drilling through there? That looks like a freshly drilled hole in that picture. What are we drilling into? Turn the page over. It looks like a piece of a triangle piece of metal.
Shown in figure 3. Where's figure 3? We're on like 8-1.
There's another book that.
No, there's figure 3. Oh, look.
Yeah, what piece is that?
They're saying to use a 9/16 high nut. They didn't give us a 9/16 high nut.
Turn the page over again. Look, there was something in the. What's in the middle of that? Right there.
A serrated washer, they're calling it?
No, that piece in the middle was a nut.
A serrated edge lock washer.
But this piece.
Yeah, that's that. They're talking about some 9/16 high nut.
That's to put it in. That's like your installation.
Is that how you do it?
Probably. Rivet nut installation. But where are we putting that?
So that's the installation tool?
Yeah, yeah. But my question is, where? Let me show the bottom of this.
Unless it crushes in this hole. Is there a chance that this thing crushes at all? No.
I mean, we could just nut and bolt that. You know? It don't need a sleeve. We got that one there. One in the back. The only spot that doesn't have...
Doesn't make any sense, man. That's what this stuff is for.
But the only spot that there would be...
Oh, look. Here's the 9/16. This is the other stuff they were telling you to do with the rivet.
Yeah, but that's the install tool. But the thing is that maybe for a different truck? Because look, you got one spot in the back, okay, that already has a bolt. This one here, no reason to sleeve that. We can put a nut on the other side.
You could. It's just a skid plate.
This one's threaded, and so then we have one hole that there's nothing.
So far, everything else has made sense once we did it right.
So we just put 2 bolts in it, and don't worry about that third one. It's just a skid plate. I don't plan on doing any off-roading. Like, even that picture doesn't make sense. Like, what is that triangle thing that they're drilling through? Look, that bracket's even... That looks like the bracket that we put on before. That's not even for the skid plate, is it?
Yeah, because see, if you go to the beginning, it says,
Rivet nut install, drill hole.
It's like after the rear installation. It's not even anything on the front.
I don't know, but where? We're following the instructions, and we did the rear install, right? And then we got this rivet nut installation instructions, which start here. And then turn the page again. I want to show the pieces they're showing. Like, we're not sure what we're drilling.
It tells you what to drill.
And then show this.
It's just a triangle.
Then
one more
page over. They're showing.
That's just a triangle piece of metal.
That's not the bracket that we put on for the control arm.
because he's in a vise right here. That's just a triangle piece of metal. So what are you doing that for?
Hold the nut and bolt. What? That wouldn't be for the hole we drilled for that control arm mount.
No, because that was in a different package anyway.
Yeah, and that was easy to nut and bolt.
Yeah, why would you want to use a brass rivet nut? You would want that to be pinched together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is like made to just hold like a shield together.
Right? Well, look, I'm not worried about it. We're gonna bolt this up.
This is where you leave it open to your audience. Have you ever done this before?
Leave it open to Zone. Actually, the people from Zone or from What did I say? Is it Rocky Mountain?
Come on, man.
Well, this would be something for the people from Zone to answer, you know, if they watch this. But I'm not worried about it. Let's bolt this up the way it is and be done with it. We still have an alignment to do. Oh, and by the way, I did torque off camera. I torqued the lower control arm bolts, and those were torqued to about 115 foot-pounds, I believe.
Here, you just put this through there, dude. Look. Just put this up through here with the washer, and put the washer and a nut up top.
You have a nut that fits that? Because I don't.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I was going to use this. Here. I'll use this. It's a smaller bolt. You know?
Yeah. Just tighten it up. And you're in. What's weird is they don't mention it anywhere else.
I know. It just says rear rivet install, and it's not telling you for what. Alright, let's run these up, man. You gotta, I mean, it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Unless that part was for something else, but it's at the very end of the... My only concern would be, does it have something to do with that bracket? But like you said, you wouldn't want to use that anyway. That one stunk. I'm crop dusting you right now. Should have put a washer on that one. I'm fine with that. I mean, there's an extra hole right here with
You'd have to drill that out.
I'm not drilling it. It doesn't, I mean, it's a
If you were going to go off-road and bang off of that, you'd want as many bolts as you could.
Sure. I'm good with it. So then my factory skid plate then is not going to work, right?
Yeah, but the front piece should work.
Yeah, there's definitely no way that will work, but this piece will. Yep.
Did you plug in both ABS sensors?
I did.
Okay, here's where they're telling you to look. They're telling you here's the rivet nut. Here's the front of the lower control arm.
Wait, hold on.
So we're showing. I'm back a little bit where it's telling me to put reattach the drive shaft, and then it's talking about a rivet nut, and it's showing it. You already got this bolt in here right now.
Yeah.
You already have a hole in here.
Right. So is that made for...
It's made for the skid plate. That's what it's made for, because it says clearance to the factory is 11/16 install rivet nut. See end of instruction sheet for specific details how to install it.
Yeah.
And then loosely fit the new skid plate, mark the center of the 2 additional slots, remove the skid plate and drill the hole. So you already had a hole that lined up with a skid plate right here. This was already had thread.
Yes.
And so
yeah.
This one has a hole that's actually bigger than that rivet nut they're talking about.
So that's where the rivet nut went?
It would go there, yeah. Because here's the, see if you, I don't know if I can get the orientation right.
Yeah, no,
here's that welded pocket, and here is your control arm.
Yeah.
And it talks about the skid plate.
Okay.
So, but that rivet, this hole was already bigger than the 11/64 or whatever, 11/16 they wanted you to drill.
So the rivet nut would have went in there.
It would have went here, and it would have taken a heavier bolt than
And I had clearance to put a nut on the other side.
Yeah.
I don't care. That's fine. Cool. At least it wasn't some other structural piece. And
yeah, it has to do with the skid plate. Yeah. There you go. That always one in that, right?
oh, absolutely. That's the way it goes.
Now we got to figure out how we're going to rack this to the line.
Why are you taking my...
Did I take the impact gun?
Yeah.
Sorry.
You put everything away.
No, it's
Where's
over
the
there.
chuck at?
It's over there.
Gotcha. Cool. Okay, so before we align this, we need to set the ride height, and we're still low in the front. I'd like to come up in the front a little bit. We'll take a tape measure and see where we are. Front camber's way off on that side. But I'll do the after photos once we set the ride height in the front. All right guys, we have it set, and just for the rest of you guys, we measured from the alignment rack to the top of the fender, and on this we're at 43 inches in the back and we're at 42 in the front. So compare that to the before numbers, and so we have a 1-inch rake, and my torsion bars passenger side, there may be 2 threads remaining, and the driver's side is all the way up. So and that was to give me a 1-inch rake. Now I don't know if we could back those off some and have a 2-inch rake or another 1/2 inch, but I don't want to. I like the way it's sitting, and I'll take some still shots for you guys. Let me get the live first. My front camber's still way out on this side, but yeah, clearly I need some bigger tires now, and I have some 32-inch tires at home. We'll put those on for now. Are we showing the alignment first?
No,
Dude, that's horrible.
That's dot matrix for you, man.
Holy crap, I can't even see it. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to see that.
I thought you had a high def cam.
I do, but there's no ink to see. What I wanted to show you guys is where we ended up putting these control arms. So if anyone follows what I did, which again was, we set from the ground to the top of the fender. Well, in the rear, we couldn't set that. The blocks brought it there. 43 inches in the rear, and we set it to 42 inches exactly in the front. And you see this is the passenger side, the front control arm. You see all the way at the bottom on that one, and pretty much the exact opposite on the back side. I am all the way at the top, and that one is buried. So bury your control arm, right, that adjustment to the end on that one, and almost to the end on the front, and that's both sides. Let me show you the other side. This is driver's side front. You see there's still some adjustment there. Driver's side rear, tough to pick that out, but that is all the way at the end on the driver's side rear of the upper control arm. No, I forgot to take pictures with it sitting like this. It looks good, man. It looks like I definitely need some bigger tires. Wait, where's that tube at? There were stickers in there. You throw it away. What is this? Open that up. I'll put that on my back window. Gotta represent. Pretty cool logo. Yeah.
Zone off-road.
Yeah, we'll put that on the back window. That's pretty sweet.